Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner. I'm Elsie Johnson. And we are two sisters, Southern Cooking.
Hey y'all, it's Debbie. I'm in Warner Robins today, and tomorrow we're going to be celebrating Elsie's birthday. Her birthday technically was yesterday, but we're going to go ahead and celebrate it tomorrow. We're going to have cake and all of that for her tomorrow, so we're going to have a nice dinner for her. I am making a banana cream pie today. It is summertime. It's time to break out those cream pies because you know how good that is in the summertime when it's nice and cool and it's hot as Hades outside. So I'm going to go ahead and start making it with the Jiffy Pie Crust mix. It's very simple. I'm going to go ahead and make it up, get it baked. I'm going to par bake it. Then I'm going to go ahead and start making my banana cream custard, and then we'll put some whipped topping on the top. It's going to be good, y'all. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all. So this is what I'm going to be making right here is the Jiffy Pie Crust. It's pretty simple. I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas of what to use to make for your summer pies this year. So you're going to take a whole box of this, and this will be for 2 9-inch rounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of like smooth it out here a little bit because it's got some chunks in here, so I just don't want to. So I have a cup here of ice water. You want this to be very cold, so I'm just going to go ahead and dip about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3, in here, and I'm just going to go ahead and stir this up. Okay. And once I get it put together, then I'm going to put out my pastry board, and then I'm going to put a little flour on the surface. All right, so I've got a total of 5 tablespoons of water here. Because it's so humid outside, I might need to add a little bit more water to this because the weather's a little wonky today. Maybe just a little bit more. You'll notice that the dough starts to pull away from the side of the bowl. And that's when you know you're about ready to throw down some flour and roll it out. I'm just going to put my hands in there. Kind of pull it together a little bit. All right, I do think this is ready to go. It's all pulled together. So it ended up being about almost 7 tablespoons of water for 1 box of the Jiffy. I think it depends upon where you're at, the altitude, the humidity, and all that stuff, how much you actually are going to need. So you just kind of like eyeball it. I'm going to put it in a ball here. Just going to kind of put it in a ball. And then I'm going to lay down some flour and roll it out and see what I can do to make me some delicious pie dough here, okay? We'll be right back. All right, so I have my French roller here, and I'm just going to just start rolling this out a little bit. I want it to be about a 9-inch. Probably should have put my pastry board underneath here. That would have made it a lot nicer because I could have measured it as I went. So But I ended up adding I think it was about 7 tablespoons of water to this, and it was 1 box of Jiffy Pie Crust mix. I have pre-made. I can also make from scratch, but I wanted to give you guys some other ideas of how simple it could be that you could actually make these. This is actually a pretty good tasting pie crust. I'm getting almost there. Let me just go ahead and lift this up so I can flip it over here. Nice. I wish my surface was a little bit bigger. My countertop space is a little limited here in the apartment. But I'm enjoying. I enjoy baking so much. I'm telling you, I made so many good and delicious things out of this kitchen. I shouldn't complain, so I'm just going to roll it up here and put this on top of my pie crust and just roll it out. All right. So I'm going to par bake this at 450. And going to make it all good and yummy. I'm going to put a little bit of the marks in the bottom of my pie pan here, just to be able to make sure I have vent marks. Alright, so I'm going to pull this a little tight here, just kind of push this up here so we have some nice snugness. I hope it doesn't retreat too much. So I do have pie weights. I'm going to grab those in just a minute. It turned out to be a really nice little pie dough, didn't it? Just real pretty. Very nice. All you have to do is add a little water to it. Just going to smooth that down a little bit. All right. I'll take just going to make sure these are all tucked under. There's nothing like hanging over. I just don't want it to retreat back too far. Just going to push around here just to make sure I got a good seal, that it won't hopefully start to shrink too much. But anyway, it's not beautiful, but I think it's going to be tasty, y'all, especially when I put this banana cream pie in it. And we're going to layer some good ripe bananas in it and put some on top. Now, I can make my own whipped topping, but I am going to show you just how to do it with the whipped topping, like your Cool Whip. And so it's all it's gonna be good, y'all. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pour in my sugar, my flour, and my salt into my saucepan here. And I'm going to slowly add in 2 cups of milk. And I'm going to let this come to a boil. It's going to take a little bit because it's on medium heat. So I'm just going to let it thicken up, come to a boil, and then I'm going to temper some eggs, and then I'm going to add it together and just let it come to a nice popping boil. And then I'm going to remove it and put in my vanilla and my butter. And this is a basic custard for the banana cream pie. No. I want to show you guys what the pie crust ended up looking like, because it looks so good, y'all. Just going to get this all well incorporated here before I show you what the pie crust looks like. All right, there you go. This is still pretty hot, so I'm going to be very careful. So I'm going to bring this over and show you what it looks like. So that is what our Jiffy pie crust looks like. Looks pretty good, y'all. Looks good. To try it and see how yummy it is. It's thicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to thin out and slide down into the pan and just be a hot mess, but it didn't turn out bad. Looks pretty good. Alrighty. Alright, we'll be back in a couple minutes after we get this to start to thicken up and get it into a nice boil. Then we're going to temper the eggs a little bit. Pour the egg back in and just continue to whisk it until it is nice and thick, and then we'll get it ready for our pie pan here, okay? We'll be back real soon. Thinking that my mixture might be almost thick enough now to start tempering the eggs. So let me go ahead and get me a little bit out of here. I might have to actually strain this too when we're all said and done, just to make sure there's no clumps of anything in there. Alright, so I'm going to take some of this here and pour it in there and just whisk this right here. So we're going to go ahead and pour this back in here and let it continue to boil a few minutes more. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get that started so it doesn't turn into scrambled eggs here. So we can temper it. So we're going to go ahead and boil this for another couple minutes, about 2 minutes total. Then I'm going to take it off the heat, add the butter in, let the butter melt, and add the vanilla in. And in the meantime, I'll take this off of heat when we're done. And I will go ahead and slice up our bananas and put it on the bottom end of our crust. And then pour this over top of it. Now, I will add the whipped cream later, after it's cooled down. About another minute on this and then I can take it off. I am going to strain it just to make sure there is no clumps of anything, because I am a perfectionist. You don't have to, but I do. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to take it off the heat here. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my 2 tablespoons of butter and one teaspoon of vanilla. Let this melt. So thick and smells wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and put this aside. As soon as the butter melts, I'm going to go ahead and put this aside because I'm going to strain it. And I'm going to strain it right into our pie crust, so we don't have to dirty up any more dishes. That's good, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna go ahead and move over my pie crust, and I've got 2 large bananas that I'm going to go ahead and start to peel. And just place them right into the bottom of this crusty pan right here. We'll just put them right in there. You can do 3 medium bananas, or you can do 2 large bananas. However it takes to fill the bottom of your pie pan here. As you see, they're varying sizes. This is a super sharp knife, so we have to be very careful with it. It's gonna be good. Can't wait. It's that time of year again that we start having cold pies, as the kitchen gets so hot here in Georgia. That's what you want to do. Just turn your oven on long enough to be able to par bake your pie, and then turn it back off and try to save some of that heat in the kitchen. Doesn't this remind you of a banana pudding, what we're doing right now? It really does. And I make a mean banana pudding, guys, okay? Let me tell you, it's not your mama's banana pudding. All right. I think we are good on that. Spread those out just a little bit more. There we go. All right. Now, that's so good, y'all. You're gonna see how many lumps I've spared from this pie when I scrape through to the bottom. I don't care if you sift your flour or not, you still can get lumps. Look at that. See how much lumps I have of sugar in there and flour? I still got more in the pan here. Have to pour in. Now, if you like banana cream pie, I make an amazing coconut cream pie also. So I just finished putting the custard into the pie crust. Oh, is it good, y'all? I put bananas down in the bottom of it, and then I went ahead and put the custard on top. I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to let it give a cool down timer for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, let it cool down the rest of the way, let it set, and then after it has set, then I will finally put the whipped topping on top of it with some sliced bananas. But I'm not going to do that prematurely because it'll melt it. So it is so good, y'all. Oh, doggy, it's going to be a good thing. So we're just going to let it set it up, and when we cut it up tomorrow, we'll just have this nice, delicious banana cream pie. And we'll see you guys in our next video.
Hey y'all, it's Debbie. So it has been probably about 16, 18 hours, and I'm now over at Sis's. So I'm going to go ahead and put my whipped topping and my bananas on top of our pie.
This pie is truly a delicious and simple recipe. It's a great summer pie, but you could eat it all year round.
So I have an extra banana left over, so alright guys, we will see you in our next video. And I'm Debbie. We're Two Sisters Southern Cooking, and we thank you for visiting our page. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.